camp is so important. It's such a vital part of a youth's life, a student's life. A chance to get refreshed, a chance to have that new hope, a chance to just completely be recharged, a chance to find out and discover who God is. It's sometimes where you have to remove yourself from the distractions of home to be in a still, small place to feel and to recognize the voice of God.
I feel that camp is probably the single most important event every year for our youth, for our nation's youth, not just here at M3 camp or Journey camp or even Highland Lakes. I think camps all over the world. You know, it's the most important event. Sometimes it's the only church that some of these kids get. And I say kids, most of them are not even kids anymore. They're young adults, but a lot of times, you know, this is the only church that they get, and it's the one chance, 1 week we have that's away from everything that, you know, that's all the pressures of this life, you know, all the constant bombardment, you know, the everyday things. You know, it's a way to get away from it all. It's a way to get closer to God. It's the only, you know, not that God can't speak to you anywhere else, but it's the only place where you're quiet enough to let God speak the way He needs to speak. You know, you don't have the distractions, you don't have the cell phones, you don't have Facebook and all that stuff. Not that I'm against those things, but you know, it's a way to get away from all that and get time alone with God.
And I think too, it's something for the adults as well. We get as much out of it as the kids do every year.
Like you wouldn't believe.
Definitely.
Do not forsake the assembling of yourself one with another. Get out of your comfort zone. Stretch forth your hand to receive what God has to offer. Unclench your fists, letting go so that God will fill you to overflowing. He's in the business of miracle working. He'll open up a window, pour out blessings you have no room to receive. Oftentimes, you can't see Him clearly because of the clouded view in your own stomping ground. So to be in a camp like this, you get away from the norm, you stretch beyond what is comfortable, and you come to see that God really desires to provide for you all good and perfect gifts, so that you will be most satisfied as He's most glorified by you. No distractions, no hindrances, nothing standing in the way of you and a mighty, mighty Creator.
Again, just thank Highland Lakes for this opportunity to reach the kids, and it's truly about the kids. But more importantly, I also want to thank, want to highlight the fact that their parents are trusting us with their kids for these couple of days, but the volunteers that make this camp run. This camp wouldn't exist without the volunteers. There's a person there who's getting ready to pick up my tray. I was like, hey, relax, you don't have to pick up after me, you're not paid to do that. He said, I'm not paid anyway. The volunteers that are doing all the activities around here, working with the kids for the entire summer. We come out, we're giving up 4 or 5 days out of our schedules. These young adults are giving their entire summers and sometimes year-round to make this happen. So I want to thank them and recognize what they're doing to help shape our kids' futures as well. So that's fantastic. Just the parents, the youth workers, the administration here, and like YJ said, this camp is so important in their lives because this is something that they are going to remember, and it's going to have a life-changing impact on them. We've seen it already. It happens. It's a proven formula.
like I said, this camp is a little bit farther away than, you know, from where we would, you know, normally drive, but I mean, it's worth it. Highland Lakes Camp was the best decision for us. Like, last year was our first year. Believe me, it was God sent, because this was our first camp, and like I said, in a long time. It'll probably be our only camp from now on. The kids they enjoy it, they love it here, and I know we'll probably be coming back, you know, God permits, years to come.
Awesome. Thank you, sir.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. I believe student camp is absolutely important. There's nothing like getting with other believers from other faith families and being one church for the week. And it's also extremely important to just peel away from the distractions of the world, to peel away from Facebook and Twitter and Instagram, to peel away from TV, peel away from all the distractions in the world, to just focus solely on the greatness of Jesus. So everything around camp is centered on the greatness of Jesus. The worship through music, the worship through prayer, the worship through preaching, the worship that takes place in small groups. And it's amazing what God does with our hearts, with our minds, with our souls, and all of our strength, when that's all we have to focus on is Jesus. And my prayer is that students encounter a living God at camp, but they also realize that that same living God that they encountered at camp is the same living God that is at their house, at their school, at the mall, everywhere they go. That same God, and they can walk with Him just as intimately in their mission field as they do in this week of camp.
Atmosphere is everything, bro. Atmosphere is everything, but the spirit behind the atmosphere is the key. When you have the right staff, when you have the right people that are projecting this atmosphere, that are allowing for a great video, for great presentation, you have the right people with ministry mindedness, it allows us that are on stage such a free flow. I can honestly say, without just saying it because I'm on camera, I really mean it, man. This camp here, the right people on media, the right people are backstage, the right people are leading this. It allows for a greater spiritual awakening, man. Because guys like us who come in and have the freedom that we've had, and have the prayer that we've had through you guys, and the great attitude that we have, man, absolutely. Atmosphere is everything. The moment you walk into that building, or more than that, the moment you go into the campground and see the cleanliness and just the attitudes of the staff, and oh man, it makes for, it's like the welcoming committee, dude. Like any church, every church has a guest services, right? Or at least it should. Welcoming committee. The moment you feel welcome is the moment you are open to the music and to the preaching. Everybody plays the role, but the greater role is more than the preacher, I promise you. And the greater role is more than the music ministry on that stage. The greater role are those behind the scenes that no one will ever see. Because the moment you drive up, they're on those carts and they're waving. Those are the guys that just open the way for the kingdom of heaven, bro. I truly believe that. Preaching is just a cherry on top.
I mean, do you have anything else that you would like to add?
I would just add this, is that, man, may the Lord continue to bless all those that help out at camp. May the Lord honor and bless you and give you strength, especially those that are back behind the scenes. Don't falter, don't worry, man, because in due time, the Lord will raise you up with His right hand, and He'll bless you. I want you to know that your prayers, man, your late nights are saving hundreds, if not thousands. Just keep the light shining, baby. It's all you, man.